Yo, it's Monday, aka Mo Day. Welcome back to another episode of the JM Show. The play-in is over, guys. Play-in is over. Playoff bracket has begun. We had game ones. A lot of great games have been played, and yeah, man, we gotta we gotta break it down. You know what I mean? We gotta break it down how everything going. So first of all, we gotta backtrack, right? We gotta do the play-in games, right? Because a lot of these predictions I had. Some went through, some changed, and now I got to make other predictions to, accommodate for that. So at the 7th seed, we had the Magic versus the Hawks, and I had the Magic taking the 7th seed. Pardon me, and they did that. Shout out to the Magic. Paulo had a good game. Cole Anthony had a good game. I think Trey got ejected in like the third quarter. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, the Magic ended up taking the 7th seed. Now, at the 9-10 matchup, we had the Bulls versus Miami. And I had the Bulls winning this. Miami ends up winning this, right? And I'm talking about Miami jumped on the Bulls from the first quarter, and they did not let up. You hear me? They did not let up. So I'm like, this is crazy. But shout out to Miami. Yeah, they did their thing. Can't take none away from them. So that ends up being now Miami versus the Hawks for the 8th seed. And obviously Miami takes that as well, right? Obviously, we can see what's going on in the real world right now. Miami takes it. And now they are the 8th seed that's going to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. So as far as the Bulls and the Hawks go, okay, so as far as the Bulls and the Bulls, I think they still have a bright future. I think they still are okay, right? We still have Josh Giddey, we have Kobe White, got CB, got Big Voot. So it's still pieces there. Now I do believe we could have kept DeMar DeRozan. We would have benefited from keeping him. Especially in games like this where a guy could create his own shot and really create his own shot. But yeah, I mean, they just gotta find a couple free agents, man. It's still a bright team. I still got faith in the Bulls for the future, not right now. But shout out to the Bulls. For the Hawks, same thing. Trey Young, he needs first of all, I think he should stay. Don't think about leaving or going nowhere. I think he should stay. But yeah, he need a second piece too. Somebody that could take the ball out of his hands, not like a shooter or something like that, where he still has to pass them the ball. No, they need to take the ball out of his hands at certain points of the game. That way you could throw different things at the defense and stop giving them the same thing. Trey holds the ball a lot. So yeah, he got to figure that out. But yeah, shout out to the Bulls and the Hawks. Now, flip side, we got the West, right? So now we have the 7th, 8th seed. This was the Warriors versus the Grizzlies, right? I had the Grizzlies winning this game. The Warriors end up winning this game. Now, it was a good game. This was a good game, right? And the Grizzlies had multiple chances to really take the game over and win it. But they got Steph Curry over there, man. And Steph is one of them. And they got Jimmy now. And Jimmy came to play. Jimmy had like 35 or something. Jimmy went crazy. So yeah, I wasn't even mad at the Grizzlies for this because they fought. You know what I mean? Ja got injured, came back. They fought. So shout out to the Grizzlies, but they end up losing. What's this? 10-9. 10-9, we had the Mavericks versus the Kings, right? And I had the Kings winning this. I expected them to go in there and win. I expected AD to show up, but I didn't think that the team was going to show up. The Mavericks showed up. Clay showed up. You know what I mean? PJ Washington showed up. Like, they came to play. And they end up beating the Kings. So I'm happy being wrong, though. Shout out to the Mavericks. They end up playing the Grizzlies for the AC. Grizzlies win. Yeah, happy with that. So now we got the Grizzlies versus the Thunder, and now we got the Warriors versus the Rockets, right? Now, as far as the Kings and the Mavericks go, for me, both of these teams, they all right. Both of them, right? They teams, the team is the team, right? If you're the Kings, you just traded De'Aaron Fox, you brought in Zach LaVine, you know what I mean? But you're in the West. So for the most part, you're gonna be right there, right? Unless you have one of those years where y'all get out to a good start and you get a good position. But the West is tough. You know what I mean? Same thing for the Mavericks. All they got to do is really get healthy. You know, AD a dog, Clay a dog, got PJ Washington, got David Lively, got Gafford. You know what I mean? You got pieces over there, but you just have to get healthy for the most part. For them, they got to get healthy. Pardon me. So, yeah, that's it for the play-in. So now we go to the playoffs, right? Big boy leagues, right? So first we had one of the first games was played was the Bucks versus the Pacers, right? And I had Pacers in 7, right? Pacers ended up taking game 1. So that prediction is looking good. It was a good game for the most part. It kind of got out of hand at the end, but it was still a good game for the most part. Yeah, I still see the Bucks fighting. They might take game 2 to me, but yeah, gonna be a good series. Then we had the Denver Nuggets versus the Clippers. We had the Nuggets versus the Clippers, and I had Nuggets in 6 on this. And I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna stick to 6 because it was a good game, but at the same time, I can still see the Nuggets is just more of a well-oiled machine. They just is, right? Russell Westbrook had a good game. Well, I mean, he had good moments, but he still had an overall good game. Jokic had one, and the Clippers fought, but yeah, I still see that at 6. I see the Clippers probably taking their home games, and that be that. We had a New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons, and I had Knicks in 6. I'm sticking to that, right? The Detroit Pistons came to play, and I knew they would, right? They're a feisty young team, but the Knicks, they've been here before. You know what I mean? They got veteran leadership over there. Yeah, and yeah, I see Detroit taking 2. I still see them taking 2 because don't get it twisted. They could have took game 1. The Knicks had to go on a run to go get game 1, but still, the fact that they able to do that, they able to say, all right, let's go win this game. That's how I feel sometimes when a team go on a run like that, 20-0. It's like the team said to they, all right, let's stop playing around. Let's go win this game, right? Let's, you know what I mean? Shout out to the Knicks. I still see them in 6, but shout out to the Pistons for playing and hooping. Then we had the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Timberwolves, right? And I had Lakers in 6 on this. I'm sticking to that, right? Shout out to the Timberwolves because they took game 1. Ant-Man had a cool game. Jalen McDaniels, he showed up. Julius Randle showed up for the most part. Luka was cool. Braun was cool. But, the Timberwolves just came out and stole game 1. You got to give them credit for that. They took game 1. But at the same time, I still see Braun and Luka getting this done. I see them taking game 2 and 3. You know what I mean? To let it be known we're going to take control of this series. So, yeah. I still expect some good games, though. Don't get it twisted, though. I don't expect Ant-Man to lay down either and just let somebody beat him. But LeBron or Luka, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. Sunday night, right? We had the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I didn't have this series, so I had no prediction for it. So I'm going to make one now. I actually had this series being Thunder Warriors, right? Grizzlies take the 8th seed. Pardon me. Yeah, bro, I might have to go Thunder in 6. And this kind of like irks me a little bit because I'm a big Ja Morant fan, but this Thunder team, they beat us. They beat the Grizzlies a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think just that matchup within itself is kind of a difficult one. The Thunder tend to be a little bigger than the Grizzlies in certain matchups. It's usually around that 2-3 is when it get difficult because I think Ja can hold his own against Shea, but still, Shea got pieces over there. Now, don't get it twisted. I think Desmond is gonna have a couple great games, but still, overall, I see the Thunder beating the Grizzlies in 6, and I hate this, man, because we wanted the Rockets, bro. We could beat them. We wanted them. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it goes sometimes, man. You don't get the matchup you want. You get the matchup you earn. So you got to hoop it out. Now, if the Grizzlies win, they win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be happy. But if I had to put my NBA analysis hat on, I go Thunder. Yeah, I go Thunder. Then we got the Boston Celtics versus the Orlando Magic, right? And I had Boston in 5. And we're going to keep it that way because Boston, yeah, you know what they did. They do what they do. And, yeah, now that the playoffs have started, I'm going to tell y'all who my championship pick is. It's the Boston Celtics. I got them repeating. That team is just fire, right? They just got a squad. They got a squad, like 1 through 10 squad. You know what I mean? I might just give it 1 through 12, 13, whoever on the team, the whole squad. But, yeah, I got them beating the league. You know what I mean? So unless something crazy happens, and I don't want to say nothing crazy, but, yeah, I got them winning this. And I think they got the 6th man of the year on their team, right? So I'm going to talk about my NBA award predictions at the end of the episode. But, yeah, they got a whip, bro. Then we had the Cavs versus Miami. Now, remember, I had the Bulls here, so I didn't even have Miami making the playoffs, and yet here they are. You know what I mean? So shout out to Miami. Yeah. For this, I go Cavs in 5. I'm going to be honest with you, right? The Cavs got a lot of firepower, bro. They're another team who definitely has a squad. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be happy to see that Cavs versus Celtics matchup. That's going to be a good one. But yeah, Cavs in 5. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miami. You know, just making the playoffs is a big plus for them. Bam, Tyler Hero. What's my man name? Davion. I think it's Davion Mitchell. Him. Yeah, they got a nice little squad over there, man. So shout out to them for just making the playoffs because that's a good thing. You know what I mean? You definitely want that on your record. I ain't never missed the playoffs, so but I don't got them doing too much in the series. And then we have the Warriors versus the Rockets, right? And the Warriors took game 1 convincingly. You know what I mean? I feel like they was in control of this game the entire game. And it wasn't even like a high-scoring game, but they was in control of it. So I get the Rockets 2 games. I do give them 2 games simply because, you know, they still a young, feisty team. And, you know, I believe they are well coached. And, you know, I think they'll make it happen. They'll make the adjustments that they need to. I don't think they're going to win it at all. You know, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if this was 5, but I give them 2 games. So shout out to the Rockets, man. You know what I mean? Guarding Steph, guarding Jimmy Butler. That ain't easy for nobody. You know what I mean? And if you Jalen Green, you got to guard Steph and then try to go score 30. That's a lot, my boy. Yes. That's a lot. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's get it done, man. And so at least win 2. That's what I mean by get it done. At least get yourself 2. You know what I mean? But that just is what it is. Now, for my NBA award predictions, right? Now, I didn't do most improved player because I think that award, I don't even understand that award no more. Like right now, one of the finalists in that award is of that award is Cade Cunningham. And Cade was a number 1 pick. Like, how could he ever be most improved? Like, what? He was supposed to be this. What you mean? You know, I think that award is for like, you know, 50th pick, 55th pick. Like, you know, you gave it to Bronny or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel like that award is for. But I don't know, because Ja won it 1 year, and Ja was a number 2 pick. So it's just like, wait, what? But who knows? Cade might end up winning that. If you want me to say who might win it, Cade might win it. You know what I mean? Because Ja won it, so ain't no reason why Cade can't win it. But as far as MVP, I gotta go Shea. Gotta go Shea on MVP. Been doing this thing all year, making it happen. And yeah, I'm gonna go Shea on that as far as the MVP. Hold on one moment. We back. But yeah, I gotta go say on that. Pardon me. Gotta go say on that. Thunder had the number one team in the league all year, right? They was number one all year. I don't even think they ever lost that spot. So come on, man. You got to get that boy his credit. I was one that thought it was a fluke last year, and he made it very clear. Nope. It's what I do. You know what I mean? Defensive player of the year, I'm going Evan Mobley, right? Cleveland Cavaliers, another team who took that number one seed out east and didn't let it go, right? Even Boston never took it from them. And, as far as the defense, even though it's Jared Allen there too, you still got to get Evan Mobley a lot of credit for that. 6 man, I'm going Peyton Pritchard for the Boston Celtics. Peyton Pritchard. Yeah, that's his name. I'm going with him. Yeah, the Celtics, man. Like I said, they got a squad, bro. And homie could start a couple places, but you know what I mean? He had a game this year where I think he scored like 45. He been consistent all year. Like, that ain't even just like a fluke. Like, he been consistent all year. So, yeah, that's definitely 6 man of the year. A player like that, that's a game changer. Like, you know what I mean? Tatum can be having a bad game, and it's like, yo, put Peyton in. He might give you 35. You know what I mean? Coach of the year, I'm going Ime Udoka. Gotta go Ime, right? Because they counted my boy out. He had that little situation in Boston. And, they counted him out. Went to Houston. And now he got them the second seed in the West. And that is an accomplishment because the West is tough once again. And, yeah, he got them boys hooping. He got Jalen Green hooping. Sengun hooping. He took on Dylan Brooks, and everybody wrote Dylan off too. He a wild guy. He a wild cat. Yeah, he got Dylan in line and got him where he need to be. So, yeah, Udoka, you know what I mean? Coach of the year to me. He did his thing. You know what I mean? As far as, like, the Houston Rockets, he did his thing with them. Yeah, so they're my awards. They're my NBA award predictions. I don't think it's no more. Might be. They've been creating stuff, but I'm talking about the original awards. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, those are my predictions, man. So, yeah, shout out to the fans out there, man. Love y'all. Subscribe, like. You know what I mean? And I'll get up with y'all next Monday, man. You know what I mean? Catch me here Monday. Love.